talked about the AUDUSD, where I was expecting a bullish momentum, but unfortunately things didn't work out as expected as price continued to find lower lows and lower highs. So at this point in time, we have a breakdown of that bullish trend line we identified earlier, and this is more or less a sign that the dollar might be getting stronger as time goes by. We should not forget the fact that today is going to be a very volatile day, considering the important new um, events that are coming up today. And let's look at that one more time. We have on our economic calendar, we have high priority events for today. We have from the euro, which is the harmonized index of consumer price, which is going to happen in an hour, in 30 minutes time. And then we have the gross domestic product annualized, that's on the US, and the Fed's chair is also going to speak in 2 hours time. And the Bank of England's governor is also going to speak in 2 hours time. And the Euro Central Bank president is also going to speak in 2 hours time. And so you agree with me that this is going to be today is going to be a very high impact event, as we're going to be looking for participants in the market are actually looking for this event to decide where market is going to go. So it's very possible in the next couple of hours we're going to be seeing volatility in the market. So one thing I want to be looking out for here on the AUD/USD is that since we have a breakdown of that bullish trend line we identified earlier during our Monday session, we might be saying, okay, fine, since we have a breakdown of that structure, we could be waiting for a retest of structure to push price further to the downside. But it's not that easy at the moment, because if we scale up to a higher time frame, we will observe that price is still within a strong demand zone that has been holding since the month of May. And we can see that every time price comes into this area, you can see on our 4 hours time frame, we can see that every time price comes into this area, we normally see a bullish momentum to the upside. This happened here, happened here, happened here as well. So because we saw a breakdown of that bullish trend line, we can't say categorically that we're going to be having a trend continuation to the downside. No, I'm not going to say that right now. So as we need to see confirmation to support that. And the only thing that will support a trend continuation to the downside for me here on the AUD/USD is to see a breakdown of that demand zone. That is, we see a breakdown of the previous low. Then after which, if we see a breakdown of the previous low, that is 0.68500 area, then a retest of structure of either the bullish trend line or the key level sitting at $0.69200, then we might be looking for patterns on lower time frame to join the decline to the downside. So personally on this one, because price is still sitting on a demand zone, we want to be looking out for bullish momentum going forward as we head into the New York session. So what I will advise you to do is to remain patient on this pair, on the most especially most of the major pairs or the USD pairs at the moment. I'm thinking that the USD is going to fall. That's what I'm thinking, but until proven otherwise. So let's hold on this and let's see how price plays out during the New York session. If we see price break above this key level, above this bullish trend line, then we want to be looking for patterns. We want to be looking for a retest of that bullish trend line, and then we look for patterns on lower time frame that will support a trend continuation to the upside. Remember, during the Monday session, we had our take profit target within the 0.71 area and the 0.72 area. And how did we come about that take profit target? We actually took into consideration this bearish impulse leg that came to the downside from 0.73 area. We saw this impulse leg, so I'm expecting price to do a retracement into the take profit target zone, after which we look for a trend continuation to the downside. So the take profit target is actually our golden zone area, which is always the 50%, between the 50 and the 78.6% of the previous impulse leg. And if we draw our bring out our Fibonacci retracement tool and run it through the previous impulse leg, we should have between 50 and the 78.6 as a take profit target zone for buying opportunity here on the AUDUSD. So so remember what I said here, we have two scenarios here to play along with. The first one is we look for a break above of that bullish trend line to take advantage of a trend continuation to the upside. And the other scenario is if we see price do a retest of that bullish trend line. Sorry, remember we have a key level here at 0.69200. Let me bring that out so that we can see this very clearly. 320. Okay, let's make it 330 area. All right, good. So the other scenario I'm talking about here is we already see price break down that bullish trend line. And one thing I said here is I want to see price go further down a little bit, that is go beyond the previous low and do a retest of this, either the bullish trend line or the key level here at 0.69200, where we look for patterns on lower time frame that supports a trend continuation to the downside. So this is my scenario here on the AUDUSD. So I'll advise that we remain very patient, very conscious, as we want to make sure that we see a signal and then we see a confirmation that would allow us to join either the rally or the decline as we head into the New York session. So that is my scenario here on the AUDUSD. If you have any questions or you think you don't understand what I just talked about, you can drop a comment. You can drop a comment and I will look at it and answer you appropriately. So 10 seconds for that. Sure, work is asking if you can ask a question. Sure, ask a question whatever language you have there. I have a translator here. Ask any question you want to ask and I'll be willing to answer you. Type in whatever language you want to type in. 610, hi, good morning to you. Trust you're doing well. Okay. So in the absence of none, we'll be moving on to the Euro USD. And on the Euro USD, I expected the same scenario with that which we have here on the AUD USD, where I was expecting a bullish momentum.